How's everything?
That's pretty good, man. Pretty good. Tired. I almost didn't want to do the show, but I was like, fuck it. I'll grab a drink. Be right back.
Right.
All right. Let's see what we're doing here. Uh, can't tell if we're live or not. Oh, we are live. Okay, cool.
All right.
I think so, but it looks weird.
Welcome to Trip on This with
Yeah.
Zach Black.
Tripping
How
on
you been,
myself.
Zach?
I've been good, man. Ah,
Oh man.
enjoying my time back in Diego, man.
Yeah. How's the heat and the rolling blackouts and the forest fires?
Oh,
Burning
man.
like
It's
the fires of Hades themselves, yes?
it's I got this terrible echo now because I forgot to in my haste to try to set this up, I forgot to wear the
Yeah, it's
headphones.
okay. We're having some technical issues. Everybody out there, we'll be right with you in 1 sec. You got some
Yeah, I don't
echo.
even know exactly. Oh, there we are. Cool. Okay, I do see people now. Okay, the whole setup,
Yeah.
the interface is different. Now we're good. Okay. What's up, guys? How you doing? Fung is here. Got a source adversary is here. What's going on, guys? I can't pronounce it again.
Hello,
Deuce
everyone.
Andate. Deuce Andate. Thanks. Cool. Yeah, man. So yeah, hopefully people will catch us. I tried to I still can't figure out how to like do the Zoom thing, get you, and then bring it to a scheduled show. So it's like I can only do one. I know you can because I've done it before, but it's I can never
Yeah.
figure it out. And so it's like I can do one or the other. I can either have it scheduled and just be by myself, or if I want you, then I can't schedule it. And we just jump on like we did right now, which is easy.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're working out these technical
Yeah,
issues, and as you get more adept to what you're doing, you're gonna kick ass at this, right? I
I
mean,
think so, man.
this whole thing has been experimental since day one, and topics have always varied, right? You
That
know?
is true. That is true. I'm but the live chat here. I'm going to. I can't see how I type in here though. It's like the whole interface looks different on mine for some reason. Like they recently did something. I'm trying to drop in the call in number. Oh wait, there we go. I got it a little bit. Okay, so here's the
All
call
right,
in
so
number,
yeah,
guys.
we'll be taking callers after we go through the discussion a little bit and see if we
Absolutely,
want some people on. And
absolutely.
this is it seems like a really good show tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit about religion, aren't we? And our place in the world, right?
Yeah. The whole idea came up is because one of my last live streams was about the bunch of how the Muslims were kind of in the Seattle area, certain parts of Seattle, I just like completely taken over entire neighborhoods and all
Well,
the businesses, all the shops and stuff, and people think that's fair. Apparently, the way I said it and projected it was came across as being hateful, which I mean that's kind of hateful is the wrong word for it. I definitely have a problem with large groups of religious people coming in and dominating whole neighborhoods and occupying whole neighborhoods. I think that's kind of fucked personally. But at the
well,
same
we can
time,
always thank Obama for that one.
well, yeah,
Look what it did to my hometown. Remember El Cajon?
yeah, yeah. What is that now? Is that all Muslim?
Well, it's Middle Eastern mostly.
Okay, wow,
It used
really?
to be a majority of it. Was mixed. And then we had the Chaldeans, which are like Middle Eastern Catholics,
Okay,
persecuted from the Muslim sect in Iraq, moved in there as refugees, and then after that, they just started letting everybody in there. And yeah, I was kind of forced out of where I lived. My wife happens to be Chaldean. She doesn't follow their religion, and she's more like a Buddhist.
okay.
But we were kind of, because we're a mixed couple, I was treated very poorly, other than by her family, who were really nice to me, and accepting. But uh, they tend to be a little bit more like xenophobic, themselves.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
They don't really it's a rarity that like, a Chaldean Middle Eastern woman will date like, a white guy.
Okay, they kind of stick
It's
within
usually
their
frowned upon.
right. Sure. Sure.
But they've taken me with open arms. I mean, they've seen me full heathen and everything, and they still fucking love me,
What's your opinion though? I mean, as far as like, I mean, do you think it's right? I mean, should we allow like large religious groups, immigrants to come and occupy neighborhoods like that? I mean, at one point, if they're not hurting anybody.
I think if as long as they're peaceful and they can respect other people's beliefs, then that's fine. And as long as they come in here as a citizen, I'm fine with that. I have no problem with people of all cultures as long as they're respectful of mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at this point, with like the cancel culture and the people who are trying to end like all different types of anything to do with anything spiritual, at this point, I think that there's no time to bitch about who's what and what's what. It's either you're an American or you're on the other side. But I've always thought of that. I mean, me, we have differences in views, but like, but we get along just fine.
Yeah.
But we're also people that have like, had some issues or traumas that have gotten us out of our naivete, where I don't know what you were raised before you decided to embrace Satanism, or but I was a Baptist Christian. That's what I was raised as, and it wasn't until I started having weird, what I would consider paranormal experiences, that I changed, from being a Christian to like, near pagan, but for a while I was atheist too. I thought I was losing my damn mind.
I'm just going to answer this guy's question real quick because I'm having a hard time typing it out. This guy's asking, he's kind of off topic, but he's saying, what's the strongest trip in milligrams or UGs I've ever taken? Well, that would easily be the 20 to 30 hits, but it wasn't, I wasn't measured out. It was a thing that was eyeballed. So I guess I don't know, what would that be? 100? It would be like what? 2,000 to 3,000 if I'm doing my math right.
Star Trek Enterprise, Zach.
Yeah, something like that. Right. We don't, back then we didn't deal in the milligrams and UGs as far as like the quality or the, the potency of acid. We dealt with like tabs, like one hit, that's a hit, and then we did the strength was determined by, was it purple haze or was it window pane or was it blotter, and we had a red dot on it. It was an orange sunshine. We had names for the fucking things. Like,
I remember, especially in the 90s and shit.
Right.
Grateful Dead, when they were ever coming to tour. Like, I think it was a comedian that said they just kind of came in like a big psychedelic monster, and everybody had sheets of acid every time dead shit would come by. But that's kind of like our spirituality too, in a way, right?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, the whole psychedelic movement, it's still here. In fact, it's probably bigger now than it was back in the 90s. Now that I've, been more involved in it. But yeah, that was a big part of my history growing up as far as a teenager and stuff goes.
Yeah.
Yours as well.
I think that, like, when going back on topic, I think that as long as we don't lose our country to people that don't like our country and don't follow the openness of our values, I think that would be my only problem with it. And it's not about racism. It's just about like, like, you left your country for a reason to come here, right?
Well, that's what kind of bothers me is like, if like, I'll use the a lot of the Muslims as an example, just because it's easy and they're easy to spot, right? So it's like, it's like if they're fleeing, like if they were trying to get away from, radical Islam, they're trying to get away from the oppression of whatever country they're from, right?
Yeah.
You think that they would come here and not like set up camp and try to turn everything around them just like it was in their fucking shithole.
No,
like,
I know. That's
like, why do you come here and smear your shit all over this place and try to make it look like that shithole? If you're gonna come here, that's what bothers me.
Like, I don't like a Christian who will try to convert me. You know what I'm saying? Like, get in my face about what I believe is wrong. Like, and I really think that the time for us all as Americans, that time is like slowly going away. I really do. I mean, I that's the one thing that I think that, and we've talked about this personally between the two of us too, is like one of the things that conservatism like kind of did was embrace the Christian, fundamentalists, right? They're in the 1960s, right around the time that the Democrats decided they weren't going to be doing Jim Crow laws, and pretty much around that time. And one of the things that they did, which they don't really, or can't really afford to do right now, is to exclude people based on sexual orientation, uh, even religion, even if it goes against their own teachings. Because at this point, we're like having to deal with like people that want to kind of take it all away from us, right?
Right. Mojo, we got a caller here. I'm not sure who this is.
You want to take them now? Okay,
Yeah,
go
why
ahead.
not? Hey, what's going on? Who's on the air here?
What up?
I guess I better put him on speakerphone, eh?
Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to do that.
There we go. This is my high tech thing. What's up, man? Can you guys hear him?
No.
Okay.
You'll have to boost up the volume there, bro.
Sorry, guys. Hold on a second. There it is. Okay, there. Try it now. What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing much. I just have to get my volume right.
Oh, right on, man. I'm still working on it too myself. Cool.
I've been a big fan for a long time, so it's really cool to get to talk to you, Zach.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think all your videos are really cool and actually have something to take from them, unlike most people's videos, which are just a lot of nonsense. You kind of go a little bit deeper than most.
I appreciate it, man. I try to. Sometimes I fall a little short, but I make a valiant effort to try to keep it somewhat interesting.
Yeah, it's cool how you kind of shifted gears throughout your YouTube career. You've kind of gone from like Satanism to like the psychedelic scene, and now you're dipping into religion, which is cool. My opinion on religion is it seems pretty apparent. It's all geographical, it's like where you're from determines what you believe, and that just goes to show that it's not correct.
I kind of see what you're saying. Like, you mean like what area you're born in and what country you're born in will kind of dictate how you come about, and like religion's always changing to kind of keep up with the times according to the cultures, or what?
Yeah, so like take for instance, if you're born in the Middle East, you'll be a Muslim because it's the law there. If you're born in Mississippi, you'll probably be a Christian. If you're born in Poland, you'll be a Catholic. If you're born in Cambodia, you'll be a Buddhist. So a lot of it just has to do with location. And to me, that's when I because I was raised Catholic, but it just stopped making sense to me after a while. So I guess I don't really believe in God, so I identify more with atheism.
Absolutely. But you have the right to, the freedom to.
Well, somebody's got it wrong, so I think just about all of them are.
Well, as a free thinker, you were able to get outside of the sheep box.
Yeah, I mean, the atheist thing is, I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, it seems like maybe it's just because I'm on the West Coast. Maybe I need to go to the South and I've changed my mind. But it seems like how do people still believe in shit like I don't know, like the Christian fairy tales and stuff with science and technology and stuff? It's like, really, like I get it. Maybe like 300 or 400 years ago, I could kind of see how people who were kind of just like, still questioning if that fucking fire in the sky was a sun or God or a fucking eyeball or what. It's the Mordor thing, from the Lord of the Rings. I could kind of get it, in the primitive times, but like, really, it's like, are we still going to hold on to these fairy tales that have been disproven time and time again to be just fairy tales? Like, not necessarily the God myth, but like, like a lot of the stories in the Bible and shit. It's like, at what point you say, okay, this is obviously false. This is obviously false. Obviously false. Obviously bullshit. Obviously bullshit. Before it's like, come on, guys, this is a whole bullshit sandwich. Like, it's like we've
I think
thrown
it's a
out all
metaphor
the
for
meat.
politics. A
Bread.
lot of it. I think it's a metaphor for politics because they couldn't be political outright with the Romans.
Because I'm down south, unfortunately, I've been I've been wanting to get out, but I've gotten in trouble down here like 100 times with the cops because they're so strict, and it's made it hard to leave. But they're like, Christianity is real popular like down here, and people are so into that shit. I just have to ignore it, really.
Yeah, really. I mean, as far as like I was saying, like when it comes to like, if you look at it, in my opinion, coming as a pagan, like knowing about like, you know, magic and shit. If you look at the fucking Bible and most of the doctrines, they're set up.
I can't hear, I don't know if the other co-host has said anything, but I can only hear you, Zach. I can't hear anything from his side if he's had anything to say.
Oh, you know what, man? You know what? That's my bad because I have headphones on. So Mojo, I don't know if you heard him, but yeah, you can't hear us.
Can't hear me?
Okay, now you can hear if I take off the headphones.
Okay, what I was saying is like.
Okay, yeah, you know what? That was a technical glitch I didn't prepare for. Is these fucking the call-in headphones? So it should be good to go if I plug this in back in.
I'm saying that like the scripture, like at least Revelation and some of the parts of the Bible, like they seem like
the
hidden
flat
political.
to get on the show. I was anyway. Okay, now
Fuck you, Zach.
now you can hear him a little bit. Okay, this should work. Caller, you can hear him now, right?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to me, it seems more like hidden political, political shit that was in the Bible too, and coming from like a pagan, knowing about like spells and magic. Like to me, it just seems like a misunderstood fucking grimoire. Like most of the doctrines that are out there, and they're just taken verbatim, right? Like if you look back at the past before the idea of organized religion, most of the shit was fucking pagan anyway. So a lot of the stuff in those doctrines, I think, like they're set up like a goddamn coven. You got a leader that is on the top, all the energy and focus from the people in the pews. They're fucking focused towards the fucking spiritual middleman who only can translate shit that he doesn't really understand. And it's kind of like self-serve, like one note out of a crescendo of many gods, right? Like it's you want to go into science and shit like that, but this world is pretty fucking weird. Like there's a lot of weird shit out there. So it just depends, if your belief system doesn't allow it, that's okay too. But you should have the freedom to be able to do so and believe in what you believe in regardless.
Well, that's kind of the whole topic of the thing was, I mean, should we, if we're Americans, right?
Yeah.
But what do we even have an established religion here? I mean, I guess people might say it's Christianity, but I'm tend to say no, it's not.
Not anymore.
I mean, hopefully it's not, right? I mean, it depends on where you live. Like where this guy's talking about down in the South, I'm sure he might say differently because I've been down in the South only thankfully in passing, but I passed the right the fuck back out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that up here too. We got more fucking churches than there are fucking people.
Mm.
And then we have a lot of Christian like evangelicals up here that they'll look at my fucking Vulcan knot here and then they'll want to fucking lecture me about Jesus. But one of the things I've learned is, and this is something that a lot of people may disagree upon, but I think it's fucking great because when I quote their own scripture back at them, what do they got to fucking say, right? They're the ones coming at me holy and holier than thou, and I'm quoting their own scripture back at them, even though I'm not a believer of their scripture. But I quote that back at them, and they have very little to say. Most of the time, they just walk away.
Yeah, man. Well, Joe, you live in San Diego. I don't know about El Cajon, man, but there's no religious people walking around in Hillcrest or North Park.
Well, no, I'm up in Spokane, Washington, though.
Well, I know you are, but I mean, when you lived in like El Cajon, though, did you get the Mormons and the Jehovah's Witnesses over there? Because we don't get them over here.
Sometimes, yeah, but okay, I would just straight tell them I'm pagan, and then they look at me, and then they turn around. Cool. Sometimes I'd invite them in to talk to me, and I would quote their scripture to them.
Hey, caller, man, thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you go on the line though, just so we can. I see somebody's was trying to call in earlier, or while you're on, so I'm gonna try to give everybody a chance.
I got one quick question.
Yeah.
Before I gotta go.
Yeah, man, shoot.
What's a good mushrooms?
Mushrooms, I would go with
2.52.
I was just pretty close. I was gonna say if you've never done it before, I'd say I'd go with about between 2 and 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried DMT a few times, but I've never done mushrooms.
Dude, you'll like it.
Yeah.
Hit me up in private, man. I can make that happen for you. But
Yeah, I'm too far away, unfortunately.
Oh man, I don't know. My arm can throw it pretty far.
The connection just came up.
Oh, cool.
In my area for the first time.
Definitely try them out and get back to us, man. Let us know how that fucking works.
Yeah.
Man.
Fuck
Mushrooms
yeah.
is awesome. I like mushrooms. I like all of them, man. All right, thanks, man. Take it later, man.
I don't know how you feel about that though, but I think that it can be used as a weapon.
What? Mushrooms?
Just a verbal weapon, right? Like
mushrooms? Oh.
Well, no, man. Quoting their scripture back to them.
Well, it's kind of like, I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? It's kind of like, yeah, you can do that all day if you want. I mean, I'm sure it'll frustrate them, right? It's always fun, right? Remember when you were a kid? I know you are, but what am I? It's like, what? It's not how this argument works, motherfucker. It's like,
yeah, they don't expect me to know shit. They just expect me to be dumb, right?
They expect you to be compliant and just be like, overwhelmed. We're just gonna be like that awkward politeness where you're just like, oh, they're trying to be nice to me, but they're not. That's the thing. So fuck them, but they're expecting you like, oh, he's gonna be nice to us because he's gonna be like overwhelmed and be nice, and he sees we're nice and we're just gonna dominate him and he's gonna have to listen to our shit.
The relationship between Boyd Rice and that one evangelical preacher. They're like, they're best friends. You know who I'm talking about? The redheaded guy that talks about possession. Bob Larson. Like we can be friends.
Yeah. Yeah, right? after the show,
agree to disagree.
Right. I like that one. I like that one where Boyd Rice told him, he's like, in the room was Boyd Rice, Nicholas Schreck, and Bob Larson, and Boyd Rice said, out of the three of us in here, Mr. Larson, you're the most satanic one of all of us. And Mr. Larson's like, how so? Why would you say that, Boyd? And I'm sure they're sitting around having a beer or whatever. He's like, well, you're scamming millions of people out of their hard-earned money, in the name of God. And like, that's more sinister than we've ever done. It's like, you're more satanic than all of us. But, touche. I mean, I don't know. I like to hear what his reply was to that.
I think his reply saw it on the documentary about Boyd Rice, and he just says, he's going to hell. That guy is going to hell.
Yeah, man. I miss
but
those
they're best friends.
Man, I don't know if it's because of my tattoos or it started when I didn't have tattoos, but like I got older. Like I used to, like, when I was younger, man, like the religious people would come at me and shit. Maybe it's because I lived in Phoenix and there's a large Mormon population out there.
Yeah,
but they don't come at me anymore. Maybe it's just I look too mean or something. They're just like, yeah, we'll skip that guy. Like, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, we're rather common now, though. I mean, one of the largest growing spiritualities right now is heathenism.
Good.
Especially in Europe, and I mean, here it's more like intersectional witchcraft and bullshit like that. But like, most of it's being attempted to be infiltrated by those same people that want to, like, completely take away all of it, other than their ideology.
Oh, real quick, so these guys are talking about DMT over here. I'm falling behind in this, reading these conversations, but dude, I don't know what happened. I had a bad fucking trip last night too, and it was.
I told you. What did I tell you? Your ass would be handed to you every once in a while, right?
Well, now it's being handed to me like almost every time.
You got something you haven't worked on, man.
Yeah, I know, man. Dude, it was like, I'll even show you, like, well, I probably should
just talk about it.
Yeah. Basically, I was like, I'm waiting on some stuff, and I was like, kind of like, looking around. I saw this like bong up there, and I like, whatever. If there was even anything in that bowl, it had been in there for like 4 months. I've been in Washington for 2 months, and it just like, it was one of those things where it's like I left and forgot about it. And I was like, oh, I'll maybe get a hit out of this, no big deal. Fired that fucker right in, just fucking massive hit, like whoop. And like before I could even like start, like pull the bong away, I was like already fucking about to blast off, and like, because it's like, like the whole room was like all, and I knew I was fucked, dude. I was like, I didn't even hold it out. As soon as I felt the fucking like come crash, something like and blew it out as fast as I could. I was too late, man. I was fucking.
Yeah, you're already gone.
I was gone. I could barely put the bong down, man. And like everything just turned.
What was your
white.
experience though?
Dude,
What
it was
happened?
bad. Everything turned bright white and bright red, and the fucking things like my walls just went and like started coming down on me and shit. And I'm like, I was telling myself, okay, this is gonna be bad. It's only gonna last for 5 minutes. I put my hand on the wall and like, oh, and then like all of a sudden my hand fucking broke, and like, dude, like my arms like fucking bent back, and like, oh, my teeth started falling out and shit. And I'm like, this is not happening. And then like I had this music on because I wasn't planning on blasting off. I was planning on just getting a hit, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, dude, like the music's like super loud and I'm trying to fucking turn it off and shit. And then I was like, I thought my room was on fire because I didn't know if I dropped the bong, which wouldn't set the room on fire, right? But for some reason, because I couldn't see, it was like all lights and fucking colors. And there's this like heckling voice, like, oh, like yelling at me, like, oh, and I was like, fuck. And like, and I put my hand over my mouth to like hold my teeth in my mouth, which are falling out between my fingers. Not fucking cool, by the way. And like, and I'm feeling, I stick my fingers in my mouth, man. And I'm like, I have no teeth on one side. And I'm like, I stopped myself and I'm like, I said, then and at this point, I didn't even know where I was. And I'm like, did I just fall down and knock out all my teeth? And like, I'm like, I can't feel my face. Like, and I'm just like, I eventually calmed myself down, but then it was like, it took me a while to realize where I was. And like, my door was open and I'm like, and like, and then I have like all this paraphernalia all over the place. Like when I'm sober enough, but I'm barely sober enough to even like grab stuff because I can't see. And like,
shit.
I try to grab, like hide my shit and like in this little cubby hole, and the cubby hole like fucking clamped down on my hand and shit. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, it was bad, man. It was pretty fucking scary is what it was. That was just one hit.
Sorry.
Well, see, that's the weird thing, Joe, is it was just the exact same DMT out of the exact same bolt that I was unable to blast off at before. And I took 2 hits out of that before. That was several months ago. And I wasn't able to blast off. Now I took 1 hit and I'm about to fucking die. And it's like, what happened? Something happened to my brain, dude. I can't do it.
Well, maybe you did. Maybe you had a spiritual ego death, man. Like they say that like bad trips were a good thing according to the natives. Like they were teachers.
What though?
They teach you how like not to be so cocky.
It was humbling. I will say that it was humbling to give a lot more respect to that drug, because it was like I was just gonna take it, just take a hit like in passing, like, oh, I'm just gonna take this hit and fucking go about my business. No, it like stopped me. Like that was like I didn't do shit for an hour, but like reflect on what the fuck just happened. Like, like
I know I've had those, brother. I know what you're talking about. I know.
It's so much different though than LSD, man, or shrooms. It's like at least LSD and shrooms. I know shrooms. I've heard some of your dark stories on shrooms, man, and they can get pretty deep. But oh
yeah, it can.
But
I mean, all of it. Like anytime you think you know what you're doing and you don't pay attention correctly, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. It's just the way it goes, like you have to really like, I take it with reverence, man. Like I take it like a ritual. Like I always make sure that there's someone there that's with me, that's sober. And if I guide people to have that experience, I always make sure that I am clean. And the reason being is I've had too many experiences where I just lost my shit. And secondly, like especially with DMT, when you go in on something, even if it's a good trip, it's slightly traumatic. So you need someone there almost to kind of help you balance yourself out and figure out the imagery that you've been seeing in a way. Now that'll always be that other person's translation as you're talking to them. Like, like what you just went through. You just dove in like big time, whether it be accidental or intentional, right? But yeah, always take the time to do that.
I don't know, man. I mean, I see what you're saying, and now I definitely, when I've tripped with my girlfriend here, who's in the room here, Stacy. It's definitely easier because I kind of went sideways on one of those trips too, and it was better to have somebody in the room for sure, because it kind of grounds you a little bit, because otherwise, if you're by yourself, things get extra scary, because then it's hard to tell what's real. If there's somebody else there that it's a lot. It's definitely easier, but I kind of like to get close to like getting to that point by myself, because maybe it's a fear of losing face or a fear of being embarrassed. It could be part of that. But I feel like I like if there's somebody there that I can't really explore.
Will and intent, Zach. Will and intent.
That's true. Got to set it up, I guess, better.
If you, then one of the things a lot of people, some of your viewers might scoff at it, but like you go into it with a plan of what you want to deal with, what you're going to go explore and make it your mantra, like meditate on it a little bit before you go in there. Okay. And I've noticed the more I go in there with an objective, the more the imagery and whatever messages that are there. Oh, nice.
I was
Mike
meditating on
Miazzo.
this.
Yeah, that is beautiful, man. That Mike did that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And where does Mike work now?
He works about half a mile. He works on 30th and Adams.
What's the name of his business now that he's working,
I don't remember actually.
All right, whatever. Well, he's a good tattooed artist. If anyone's out there that likes darker things, yeah, look at his tattoos. He's covered with Mike's tattoos. Mike Miazzo, he's an artist and a tattoo artist and an occultist and a Satanist. Hopefully we can get him on the show sometime. He has a lot of knowledge, man.
He does. He's a little camera shy.
Like a hippie.
So yeah, I guess back to the original subject of the whole religious intolerance thing in the United States. I'm really on the fence about it, man, because you know what? I don't want a bunch of Muslims in my backyard. Why? Does it make me a racist? Okay, if that's what it makes me, I guess. But
I don't think you're
a racist. I don't dislike Muslims. I dislike the fact that if they go to it doesn't happen in every neighborhood, right? But if they're, I guess they're more. What did somebody correct me on? I shouldn't keep saying Muslims. I should say Islamics or the extreme Islams, whatever they're called.
Okay.
Yeah. So I shouldn't just paint with a broad brush and say Muslims. But I have no problem with people practicing their religious beliefs, in their privacy. I don't have problems, even if it's out in public to some extent. But if it starts occupying neighborhoods, I mean, I don't want to see Muslim shrines set up all over the city. I don't want to see that shit. Just like I don't want to see a bunch of crosses either. But that seems to be what happens. And that's what we're talking about. Like when the immigrants come to escape, to make a better life for themselves over here, but they just build up camp and do the same things over here.
Yep.
And I'm kind of against that. But then again, I'm also for religious expression and for religious freedom. So I don't think that we should be telling people what they can and can't believe. So maybe it's a stricter type of separation of church and state. Of not just.
I think if they were vetting them better, like maybe they're doing that now. But if you come to our country, I think that you should adhere to some American values and be able to understand what those values are before you come in. And one of those values, I believe, is that everyone has the right to exist.
True. Well, what happened if they build a neighborhood so, entrenched in their, their religion and their trappings that it makes everybody uncomfortable and they leave, which is kind of, I think, that's kind of the more passive.
That's what they were doing during the past administrations. If you look at the last presidents, man, and people will probably say that I'm wrong, but I think they were all globalists in disguise of Democrats and Republicans. I think that they all had an agenda to fill places with people that, for some reason, I don't know why. Like you go to Australia, for instance, right? And you have to have an education to come in, and you have to have a purpose to coming into that country before you become a citizen, right? Regardless of your religious background, right? But for a long time here, they were ignoring that rule here. Okay. So we did have extremist camps forming in our country. In fact, we have that happening right now outside of the Antifa communist and the BLM communist. We have other fucking encampments, as far as I know, and training camps that are starting here too. Now, I know that you're a convert to the current president. So am I. I mean, for the first time since Clinton, I'm voting for the first time. I didn't believe in it after Bush, right? Like he had gotten in with mail-in voting and prisoners and people that were dead, and all the fucking propaganda after 9/11 and shit, all the country fucking music and just bullshit. And then after you see it, like, all you guys have to do is look at the weirdness at the George W. Bush funeral. Okay. And there was inside of those pamphlets for George W. Bush, Hillary Clinton, Obama, the Bush family were handed a fucking note, and goddamn Trump left fucking early. So there was something going on there. Now it ties into a lot of, you can say it's this or that, but I think for a fact that like, okay, look at this, right? Bush was a fucking asshole and just throwing patriotism bullshit, Christian bullshit all over the fucking place, right? 9/11 happened, fear charts and terrorism. And then Obama comes in and it's racism. BLM forms, bunch of bullshit. They have a fucking scapegoat. Look what the Republicans did before. Now, why the fuck are Clinton, Bush, and Obama like butt buddies?
Oh, I don't know. I think we need to stop. I think we need to stop thinking as Democrats and Republicans and as left and rights, and start looking at it more as it's not quite as black and white as I think that they try to make it to be.
Absolutely.
Not all Republicans,
assholes on both sides.
for sure, and not all Republicans are extreme religious, conservatives.
Nope.
Not all Democrats are, left wing fucking radicals either. So I think
not all Christians and Muslims are bad, just like not all Satanists are fucking bad people too.
Only me, but yeah.
But, born to be bad, right?
But yeah, I mean, it's like when it comes to like with Trump and his running mate, it's like, yeah, between the two of them, I'm definitely voting for Trump. Now, if there's a third person that comes up and steps to the plate that has something better to put on the table, I'm all for it. I'm not like, such a hardcore Trump supporter that I'm going to be like, it's Trump or nobody. But between Trump and the other dude, Trump, no, hands down. So that's really what it comes down to for me in this election. We
both had to deal with the SJW types and the fucking bullshit for 6 fucking years of just fucking people just fucking being fucking assholes, and like to watch them start to fucking riot and burn shit. Like, I just want to go to the fucking store and buy some milk, man. Like like knock this shit the fuck off. And if that's the only person we have to go by, unfortunately, some people will disagree.
Because Joe, you're in Washington, and when Stacey and I were just up there in Seattle, we went by the Capitol Hill area where they occupied this like park. If she wants to call in and tell you about it, that's cool. She can, but I'll try to tell you about it. They basically took over a fucking park, man, and they like basically, they took over not even the whole park. They took over like a part of it. Yeah, and it's stupid. And they're like have these like acting like they're like growing their own like community, and it's like these like plants and shit they bought from Home Depot and like put there to make it look like they're growing and taking over the park. But they probably pull up in a fucking U-Haul and drop the shit off in like boxes, and
but those are the real racists. Did you see how one vegetable garden was only for fucking black people?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, like, and then they had fucking these white people like guarding it.
What were they growing watermelon or something? That's racist. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. I love watermelon.
Yeah, no, they want segregation. That's what they want. Like there's a fucking reason why the BLM is 3 syllables like the KKK. Both of them are democratic.
Yeah, that's true, right? Yeah, I mean, if the BLM is going to turn into kind of a more modern version of the KKK, it's kind of retarded. And
right now we were all brothers,
KKK.
Right?
I mean, the KKK is fucking retarded as well. I mean, if you ever met those guys, they're the most fucking ignorant, white trash piece of shit. Have got very little intelligence.
They were a part of the fucking Democratic Party till 1965.
Right?
They were absolutely, the Democrats were the fucking KKK.
That's funny. And now
and regardless of how they want to say, oh, it doesn't really matter now because they fucking changed. You guys haven't fucking changed. You just changed the fucking name brand. That's all you fucking did. Just change the name brand. But both sides are guilty of bullshit. Okay, like this is what I'm talking about. Like, I know you don't care for the Satanic Temple, but like one of the things to think about is like, if the Christians reject you because of who you are, those motherfuckers accept you, right?
Yeah, I mean that's how the people get indoctrinated into
yeah.
to irrational hatred, basically. That's how the
And
white supremacist movement starts too.
it was destroy and
You go to
replace,
jail.
man. They
Well,
took the symbol of Baphomet, the
oh,
alchemical symbol,
sure.
and applied it to their politics.
Right. And they
I
made
mean, roundabout,
this
straight
weird, like,
through.
androgynous pedophile, like creepy fucking goat Iggy Pop thing. Like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
that was the first thing. That was the first time I challenged Satanic Temple when I was involved. Is when that they had that come up before it was built,
Yeah.
and I saw the model of it before it got built, because that's when I was involved and when they're fundraising for it. And I'm like, guys, what's up with the fucking kids? Get the fucking kids off this thing. Like, well, we want to show, like, kids looking up to it and admiration and respect. Like, guys, okay, we spent 20 years defeating this, trying to fight the satanic panic to try to get away from this whole pedophilia nonsense, right?
Well,
And
now there's a new one.
putting kids next to this Baphomet. Well, what are you
now
doing?
There's a new one. Now there's a new satanic panic, though.
Oh, it's gonna be, and then
no, but the QAnon thing is that's what it is.
Is it?
Yeah, dude. I mean, you need to look into it, man, because it affects all of us who will be thrown underneath the bus because of these fucking assholes.
Well, then there was a color.
They're not going to be able to tell the difference between a heathen and a fucking Satanist if it catches on.
Well, yeah, they're gonna. Well, they've already blurred Satanism into. And you know what? I actually just did a 2-hour-long interview 2 nights ago with I'm not gonna say who, but because it's gonna be a surprise. But and that was one of the things that we talked about was the difference between the satanic panic and what's going on now. And I straight up told them, and this is a video interview too. I straight up said, like, I said, between the public thinking that we're fucking sacrifice babies and are scared of us because they think that we kill their cats and fucking pray to Satan and all this shit. If it's between that image the public has of us, or that we're political Antifa LGBT drag queens running around, I'm gonna bring back Richard Ramirez, bring back the Night Stalker, bring back David Berkowitz, bring back the fucking Slayer, bring back AC/DC, bring back Satanic Panic, man. Give me, if I got to get on TV and sacrifice a goat myself, I will do it. So the public perception of Satanists will change back to, I don't know what this guy's doing, but I'm scared of him. I'd rather have that.
But you're already doing it. Well, why does it have to be fucking scary? Why do you need the imagery to fucking, like, that's what they're taking on. Like, you got to do another route, man, because like what's been done is been done. And now it's being reformed into some fucking bullshit.
It is being reformed to bullshit. Oh man, Joe. Oh shit, I didn't make you a co-host. I don't think we had time to do that stuff. I'm trying to approve messages here, but keep going. I'll work on my own technical.
It's okay, man. We got time. I mean, I'm just going off on it because I like, my wife, she's been getting into it a little bit, right? Like, and it's kind of fascinating. But if you look at the idea of symbolism and legend and myth, and how legend and myth and symbolism can affect our reality, right? Even if something's not fucking true, it can gain a following. It can gain people that'll fucking believe it, right? And what is the symbol of Q? It's a symbol of, that is a fucking goddamn sigil. It's a counter psyop. In a sense, I don't know how much of it is true and how much of it is not, but we are seeing in the news that a lot of sex traffickers are being fucking arrested. And then why the goddamn are like, you should check out. There's a video by the guy, a name of Mouthy Buddha on YouTube, and he's done a series of these pedogate shit, and it's fuck, man. They're tying Satanism and the symbolism, which I think is some eyes wide shut, weird, like heathen cult, like rich cult shit, with this symbolism.
I'm gonna remind our listeners here, because now we're got a lot more than I last looked. The calling number is 425-419-1320. 425-419-1320. It's in the chat box, and it's in the description. I'll leave it in a comment underneath the video too, in case some of you aren't in front of a computer, you're on a phone or whatever. Anyone wants to call in? Yeah, there it is. But yeah, oh man, I'm sweating bullets in here, Joe. It's
sorry, dude. You should come up here. It's fucking nice and cool. It's feeling like fall already up here in Washington State.
dude, when I was up there watching, when I was up in Seattle, man, it wasn't bad. I mean, there's a few hot days, but it was relatively nice. So I can't believe in 2 months it rained like twice, 3 times.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not the Seattle I remember.
Yeah. Well,
But
things are weird right now, man. I hope it gets back to like something where we can just exist, and like not have to worry about bullshit. But I mean, each day it just seems like there's something more extreme hitting the fucking news. If it ain't UFOs, it's fucking murder hornets. If it's not murder hornets, it's weird, people trying to push weird fucking satanic pedophiles. Like, what the fuck, like.
Just real quick on the Satanic Temple, just before that there was that whole bathroom thing I had an issue with, but then it was like when I was the chapter head of Portland, they were like Portland, Oregon, they were like
Yeah.
they're like, hey, we're gonna do this program you can get involved in, it's called Coloring Books in Schools, it's an after school program.
Yeah.
Like, what I didn't get it. I'm like, what? And they're like, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to schools and pass out these pamphlets, inviting kids and their parents to after school program for Satan. I'm like, what? Wait. You want me to go to a grade school and advertise that I'm a Satanist and pass out pamphlets to kids? Are you fucking
See,
kidding me,
that's
dude?
questionable, isn't it? Isn't it
That's
questionable?
questionable. Yeah, I was like, dude, I with a fucking like 50 fucking police behind me, maybe, and then I'd still be scared. I'm like, that's fucking
What
retarded.
about this thought? What if
It's like,
what if the symbology we're seeing has something to do with Scientology? And what if we know that Scientology uses slave labor, right? And abuses children. I mean, there was a whole documentary about it. What if? Wouldn't that be something if all of a sudden we find out? Because look at all the fucking movie stars that are in Hollywood that are now being accused of pedophilia. Tom Hanks being one of them. Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah. A lot of these people that are fucking movie stars like Tom Cruise, John Travolta, all these assholes, right? They have to know that, I mean, regardless of what's happening, that there are people that are being abused and they fucking accept that shit. And then there's so that's basically, I mean, if you look at the history of Scientology, didn't L. Ron Hubbard have an acquaintance, Jack Parsons, who belonged to a Golden Dawn or Temple Orientis?
I honestly, I'm not very familiar with Scientology whatsoever.
Well, they use the Gnostic cross blacked out as their and you know about Gnosis and Gnosticism, right? Like,
yes, to a degree.
They use the Gnostic cross as their symbol, a black Gnostic cross.
Huh. When it comes to those imageries and stuff like that, I see a lot of people pulling imagery and stuff just to, like, I don't know, either to purposely confuse what they're really about or to add importance to their cause.
Well, what if sigils and darker magic are being used in fucking advertising? What if it's everywhere?
Sure, but is it done? Well, then you'd be suggesting that it's done with intention. I mean, which in a lot of cases it is.
Golden arches is a sigil.
Sure. There's a lot of imagery and a lot of technique on lesser magic principles using sigils, but also using other things as well. Even as far as noise frequency to make people more susceptible to stimuli, and the stimuli would be their stimuli, right? Whatever that is, right?
Absolutely. Would you not consider like some of the performances by some of these major pop stars to be highly questionable and highly occult-like?
Yeah. And my question is though is like a lot of one that comes up is like Lady Gaga, right?
Yep. Beyonce.
I've listened to I've listened to
Madonna.
Now, but I don't necessarily know if it's being done with intention by the artist or if it's being done by the people that are the producers or their PR people, or with intention, or if they're doing it because there's this rumor that hip hop people are involved in the occult and the Illuminati and shit like that. And so they're just going to throw out these, like, 33 squares is because I'm part of the fucking, whatever, Freemasons, or you know what I'm saying? Or and like with Lady Gaga with the Baphomet thing or whatever, or whoever
Well,
pink or
you look at the Democratic National Convention fucking symbol. It looks like, if you turn it upside down, it looks like a Baphomet symbol, and it looks like death to America.
Huh. See, I don't think they would do that though. I don't think that would be an intentional sigil that they would want to employ. I don't
Well,
see that.
you can take a look at it for yourself. It's up for translation, but if the LGBTQ community and like the NAMBLA and shit are applying the Satanic Temple as their so-called spirituality, which is loosely satanic, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's hard to say, man, because I mean, we're connecting dots, and I think some of the dots do legitimately connect, but I think some of them don't. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to say what's real. I mean, it's like say like with the Rolling Stones, people are like, the Rolling Stones were Satanists. It's like, well, they don't advertise they're Satanists. They don't say they are, but in the late 60s and early 70s, there's a lot of really weird coincidences. Like they did the music for Kenneth Anger's film, Invocation by Demon Brother and Lucifer's Rising. Kenneth Anger was like one of the founding members of the Church of Satan. Yeah. So it's like there's that, and then the year the Church of Satan was formed, 1966, the Rolling Stones released their album called Their Satanic Majesty's Request. And then 1969, the year the Satanic Bible was released, they came out with their classic song Sympathy for the Devil. So there's a lot of does it mean that they're all Satanists?
What if it's not Levian Satanism, but like Luciferianism or theistic?
Well, it's definitely seemed to be connected towards and around the Church of Satan, but that again was at the time the Church of Satan was in their heyday, right? So that could be why too. Yeah, I mean, but then again, it's like that doesn't mean everybody in the Rolling Stones is a Satanist, right? Maybe it's just one person, maybe none of them, maybe it's their PR people that are, who knows.
And it also could be some eyes wide shut kind of fucking weird.
It could
weird thing of its own.
Yep.
That it could be like, I mean, because like if you grew up during the Satanic Panic, and I did too, and if you ever, like I said, I don't know what your religious background was prior to Satanism, but I mean, when I went to, there's a thing we used to go to with my mom's church when I was a kid called Forest Home, and it was like a religious like camp out retreat thing, and they'd have different preachers and pastors there all the time. And like I remember one time they were showing like the satanic shit and rock and roll back then, and they were trying to point out the people at the time, which were like Motley Crue and all these other motherfuckers, that they were all Satanists, right? And at the time, like even as a kid, like I thought that was fucking ridiculous. I don't know about you, but I just thought it was, and there was all this scare and shit because heavy metal, like people are fucking, they're doing this. And like, I don't know if there was a documentary on HBO called By Satan Possessed. Did you ever watch that?
No.
It had Boyd Rice when he was the
Okay.
second command being interviewed. It had people who had like satanic ritual abuse. It had the kids from the fucking 80s that were metalheads hanging out in arcade talking about how they love Satan. And
I like that. I remember those days.
It had Bob Larson on there. It had like a bunch of motherfuckers on there. Yeah, it was really contrived and almost cheesy. It was at that point that I noticed that the same people that were going into regression therapy for satanic ritual abuse, it was similar to people who were going to regression therapy for alien abductions.
Yes, I did notice that too, man. That whole era, man, was like the repressed memories type thing that got big, and that it didn't just start. It may have had its roots in like Saint or the Satanic Panic, but yeah, they did that same applied technology, not technology, the same applied techniques, alleged techniques, and for alien abductions. But it's like they're coaxing them. It's like they're coaxing them. They're coaxing people.
Not dissuading anyone's experiences, but like it just seems like fuck, man, like oh wow, like you could convince someone to do almost fucking anything, and it could be not even fucking real. Like we've all that seemed very fucking real, or trips that made us feel like something fucking has happened, right? Or maybe it did. I don't fucking know. I can't speculate, but it is odd at that point, and that both required regressive therapy. to flesh out that experience, you know?
So that's just really real, man. Like even with my bad trip yesterday, I was thinking to myself, like, if that happened to somebody that wasn't familiar with psychedelics, that
Yeah.
hasn't been already down like that 30 hits thing, 20 to 30 hits, whatever, however much it was, way in excess. Like if I hadn't had that experience, 20 years ago, this would happen just yesterday and would happen a couple times in the last month. That type of trip, dude, I would have lost my fucking shit, dude. Like I would have been like probably hospitalized.
Yeah, but you also got to know that, like,
and
okay,
like,
within the satanic community, right?
yeah,
There are individuals that are fucking nutball, fucking crazy into the sake of fucking death and darkness, right?
absolutely.
Just like there is in the goth scene, just like there is in the fucking metal scene. You know, you have in the Satanist scene, you have people that are just like, it attracts some of that element, right?
Sure.
Absolutely. I mean,
Absolutely.
not everyone has critical thinking and thought, and like, you have some elements in there that are just not adhering to the tenets of the Satanic Levian Bible.
Satanism obviously attracts weirdos, man. I mean, it's people that want to be able to do what they want without any repercussion or without any moral finger shaking will often just go to Satanism and be like, oh, okay, well, I know it's not okay to like rape babies, but fuck it, Satanists, if anybody's gonna accept me, it's gonna be Satanist. You know what I'm saying? It's like people
That's
that
what
really
I'm saying.
fucked up things. Yeah, exactly. So it attracts a lot of weirdos like that, man. It
Well,
does.
so
It sucks.
there's a lot of scenes that tend to hang on to like darker elements, even if there are people who just like the aesthetic and they're actually, practicing the tenets, right? That actually want to do it the way it's written down. There are people that are just level one surface assholes, like psychopaths. They are out there.
Yeah, it's always fun, man. Like people like I'm kind of a social butterfly when in the satanic community. A lot of Satanists are kind of reclusive and they like don't want to talk to anybody, like, whoa, because they don't really have any. They kind of a lot of Satanists are like, I don't know, probably got picked on in high school and don't have any social etiquette, right? They're not necessarily.
I'm not trying to blanket statement. I'm just saying that
it's I mean, it's based on my experience. A lot of them are kind of they're introverts. A lot, I guess that'd be a nice way to put it. Yeah, but I'm kind of the opposite. So it's like I like to meet everybody. So if somebody calls me up, even if I don't know them that well, and they're like, "Hey, my name's fucking Lord fucking Hedgehog of the Black Sun to the fifth power, priest Reverend. I happen to be like in San Diego. You want to like have a beer?" I don't even know who the Lord Reverend Black Power.
Yeah, but you're supportive.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll go out there, and there's been a few times, man, where I've gone out there and Is like, what the fuck did I just put myself into? Like, I walked into somebody's house once, man, and it was the weirdest shit, man. And this was here in Diego, man. I got a call, and it was dude was like, yeah, we're out here visiting family, and me and my wife, and we're gonna come. This is like, I don't know, maybe 2015, right around the time where you and I met, right around there, and fucking I was like, yeah, man, fucking, I was drunk. I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking come, I'll go, party at your house. And I go there, and it was like weird because it was ominous, like almost like a Halloween movie. It was way too quiet. I'm like, knock, knock, and like the door opens. It's like a lurch guy. Come in, we've been expecting you. I'm thinking to myself, I may never leave this house again.
But we also know that there's been Christians who've done some pretty evil shit too.
Oh yeah,
Muslims that do evil shit.
Everybody does.
There's been Buddhists who's done some evil shit. I mean, it's not necessarily about your spirituality or your ideology. It's just about like what you adhere to. I would guess morally in a way. Like. I don't know. I mean, but you're different, Zach. Like you're outgoing, you're willing to meet new people, and despite, and I'm not criticizing you or judging you. I'm just saying, despite the fact that you're a Satanist, like you're a normal dude.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not fucking like, oh, I'm gonna change my name to Count Blackula, and I'm gonna.
I was thinking about that, damn it.
Sacrifice puppies in the name of Satan in my room, and I'm gonna go fucking, kill fucking babies and shit. And I hope that an eclipse fucking takes out the sun so we live in eternal night. Like.
Right.
pretentious fucking surface level bullshit, right? Like, you know.
I want to like get a bunch of like, I don't know, get a bunch of people together and be like, let's go and in the name of Satan burn down every church in the fucking city. And that would
I
be
mean,
that'd be
yeah, but
great
would
news
you
though,
do
man.
that for real? Like,
Well,
you
fuck
might
no, I
think
wouldn't do
about
that.
it, but
I
like,
wouldn't. Well, one, I don't care about churches, and I'm not like I'm not a vandal really. So
yeah.
I have no
Well,
interest.
really,
There's
as a
nothing in it for
Satanist, you
me.
shouldn't give a shit about
No,
Christians.
I don't.
Like,
I don't. I don't. But that's what I'm saying. The public expects you to do that. So at a certain point, it's like, well, if they're gonna expect us to do it, might as well do it. No, I want to. I don't really enjoy like destroying shit like that.
yeah, I have
I'm gonna
a
have a
belief.
reason.
I do believe in doing controversial things, thanks to the the teachers that were there before us, like Boyd Rice, man, like that
Oh yeah.
motherfucker. Since day one,
Day one, it was
fucking
his fascist.
controversy.
Yeah, it was his fascist, like pseudo Nazi stuff, which he really
Not
wasn't. It was
just
like it
not
was.
just that, but he fucking served a fucking pig head with a fork and a spoon to Betty Ford and got fucking arrested by the Secret Service. That was his claim to fame.
Really? I didn't know that.
It was in the newspapers. Yeah, you can look up the article. He fucking went to a pro-life a rally in Balboa Park, and he decided he was going to get a pig's head and mount it with a fork and a spoon and hang out with the pro-life guys, right? And they after a while they got pissed off and they kicked him out. And he found out Betty Ford was coming to town, and he was going to present fucking Betty Ford with a pig's head and a fork and a spoon, and he got fucking arrested for it. Yeah, detained. That was his first claim to fame in San Diego.
I did not know that. I did not know. I know he's from San Diego or Lemon Grove or wherever he's from, but yeah.
Yeah. He used to work at a fucking Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
Down the street on the corner. You know where Little Darlings is in Spring Valley?
No, man, I don't get out there very often.
Place, like, you don't know what I'm talking about?
I know where
There's a
Harbor
strip
Freight is.
joint in Spring Valley.
Oh, that one. No, I'm joking. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 18 and up or whatever. But on the corner, it's now an empty lot. That used to be a fucking Taco Bell, and that's where fucking Boyd Rice used to work. Yeah.
Now, you know what would be funny to be controversial is like I would like to go like to these heavily populated Muslim neighborhoods where they've just basically taken over and dress like in the whole like Muslim garb, but as a woman. As a woman,
dress up like a satanic Muslim.
No, man, just as it's like a awkwardly seductive man dressed like a Muslim woman walking through their neighborhood.
You might have to watch out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna need you to come with me, man, and Mike and everybody we know. But I think that'd be great, man. I think you'd probably get stoned. I think that's probably. I've never read the Quran, but I'm pretty sure that if you awkwardly fuck with them sexually and make fun of their God at the same time, and you basically call them out on their homosexual weird shit that they have going on, they're probably gonna throw rocks at you. I'm pretty sure that their God's okay with that.
Well, yeah, but one of the things that me and Silva wanted to do, because like El Cajon was like 90% Chaldean, and like she was afraid to even go out and fucking take walks because like there would be one cousin that would talk to another cousin that would talk to another cousin. And so I told her she should fucking wear like a leather corset and shit, and I should be on a chain with a zipper mask, and she should just walk around and tell people she's a witch. Like, see this white man? He's my bitch.
It almost be like one of those old goth clubs we went to back in the day.
Well, that'd be normal in a goth club.
I know,
that's
right?
Like fucking like pedestrian.
I know, right? Man. Oh man, I don't think I told you, man. You went to Club Numbers before, right? Numbers?
Yeah, I've been there a few times.
Yeah, when they moved it to the one the Marrow right down here in Hillcrest.
Yeah.
Last year, man. I don't know because I think you were gone, but I didn't tell you I got jumped by some of the pseudo Satanist leftist guys. And I knew one of them too, so that's how I know who they are, right?
Yeah. Well, we should just expose them all.
Well, man, the real short story of it was one of the guy was on Sin, and I had a problem with him because if he was just a whiny bitch. He was a whiny bitch, and he was he's always complaining about something, and I didn't kick him off, but I scolded him. I'm like, dude, I really don't give a fuck. Like, stand up for yourself or fucking get the fuck out. That's gratification is in full effect here. I'm not your fucking babysitter. If you pick fights with the people and they hand you your ass, sorry, I'm not gonna, good. Maybe did you learn your lesson? No, then fuck off. You know, it's like, but so he like he always wanted to like hang out when we had our back when you were here even that long ago when we had like our meetings and stuff and our
Yeah,
chat
yeah, yeah.
meetings. He always wanted to go and I'd invite him and he'd never come because I think he's just one of those like those awkwardly social people. Like, you know, he talks a lot of shit on the internet, but when you see him, he's like nothing like he talks. So he didn't want to meet anybody. Anyway, he never showed. And then I bumped into him at a club and he was with two other dudes. And I was drunk, man. I was drunk.
Yeah.
Imagine that. I was drunk at 7.
Wow.
Really?
You were drunk?
That's in rare form, man. Yeah, I was drunk and on Xanax, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
I had a date and I was so fucking drunk and on Xanax. And then when the fog came up, I couldn't find her anymore. So like my date disappeared literally. Maybe she just like walked away. She's probably like, that guy's fuck you, Zach. You're fucked up. I'm leaving. Who knows what happened? I'm blaming it on the fog, right? I think some goth guy grabbed her. So whatever. I don't
blame the fog, Zach.
It's the fog. The fog did it. And so I like walk around, I dance for a little bit, and then I leave. Right? I was like, I can't find her. Whatever. It's been an hour. Whatever. So I left, and I was on the way back, on the way out of Merrow, right there on University, man. I'm walking down, and fucking I hear Zach, and I kind of look back, and I'm like, whatever. Like I wasn't a voice that I recognized. I just kept walking, and then I hear them like walking up faster, and like, don't turn away from me. And one dude fucking sucker punched me, right? As I'm turning around, sucker punch around the ear, boom, right? And I was like, oh fuck. And then I look up, and then the other dude, and I'm really drunk, by the way. I'm like barely can wobble my ass out of there, right? And the other guy comes to run at me, and I just back up. And it wasn't because I'm Bruce Lee or nothing. It was probably just like my own weight of momentum of being fucking fucked up.
Yeah, drunken style kung fu.
Yeah, it was drunken monkey kung fu. I was like, oh, and like he like rolls over and like fucking falls, right? And then the other dude goes to throw another punch, and I punched him right in the fucking mouth, man.
Nice.
And like, oh, and then like he's like spitting blood out and shit, and he's like staggering. And then his friend tries to get up, and I kicked his friend like twice in the face. And then the second time was like the first one was kind of a miss. The second time was like a fucking soccer ball, like thud, like it hurt my foot. Like I almost felt bad after doing that. I was like, oh, it hurt. I think I broke his face. And then his friend just got up and ran. And the guy on the floor started fucking trying to say like, please, he's trying to tell me not to fucking to stop, right? And I'm like looking around, and then people are like calling the cops and shit. And one dude was like trying to grab something out of his truck. I don't know who was on my side or what. And so I fucking took off. But that was it. These two fucking Antifa, weird fucking satanic temple guys.
They did the same thing with the heathenism. They did the same thing. They infiltrated like, come on, motherfuckers. You keep trying to push this fucking like the Nordics were so diverse shit. Like, and like you're like infiltrate. It's always fucking infiltrate shit and change it so it fucking makes their own image. And you know what? It feels like fucking evangelical Christians trying to fucking like you know, get me to consider what they're fucking preaching to me. It's the same shit. It's just except it's a non-theist religion, and I have to, if I'm not a part of the group, like I'm an outcast, like, or I'm a Nazi or I'm a racist. Like, go fuck yourselves. Like,
hey guys, I'm trying to read these chat room things. Is there any does anybody have any questions? I start talking and I forget to read. And so does anybody have any questions that they want to ask before we kind of wrap up the show? I try to keep it like under an hour. I think it's been an hour. So anybody have anything to say, or does anybody want to call in? I'll drop the number one more time if anybody wants to call in and express your opinions or whatever about whatever the fuck we were talking about at this point.
give me 1 second, Zach. I gotta adjust something real quick.
Yeah, I'll work on the technical issues. No, not, but
give me 1 second here.
Yeah. Take your time, man.
There we go. I got it.
Oh,
I just had a request. I guess I would.
Oh, a personal request from your wife. Hello, Sonia.
Got some people coming over.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You know, just one of those days.
Okay, well, it's a good time to wrap it up, then, man. Because
absolutely, man. Next Tuesday.
Absolutely, every Tuesday. Yeah, let's plug it one more time. Every Tuesday, 7:00 on this channel, 30 Hits of Acid Guy, and eventually I'm going to have it all set up. Next week I'll have it all set up better. But
what do you think our topic should be for next week?
I don't know. Let's ask people viewing. What do you guys want to talk about next week, man? I mean, I'll fart something out, but if there's anybody in the room who has suggestions and wants to type anything in there, and even if you can't type it in time, I'll come back and I'll look at this and see if anybody types anything. I'm down for anything. What do you think, Joe? What do you think?
you know, I mean, we've covered a lot of fucking topics. I mean, I'd still like to kind of delve deep if we research it into that, at least the perspective of that, the new satanic panic and shit. I mean, we could also talk about the old satanic panic and how it leads into this one. And
Sure, we could do that, but I feel like we've kind of touched on that a
yeah,
lot.
we did kind of today. It's kind of burnt at this point.
I like John Ryan's thing over there. He goes, "You guys should talk. You guys should take some acid." Huh?
Okay.
My girlfriend will be here too, so she can run the fucking switchboard, and you and I'll just fucking trip balls.
All right, if that's what you got, if that's our plan.
I'm down. I'm down for at least one
But
tab.
I mean, it's like we're on for an hour and then we're tripping balls for 8.
well, we could move to DMT then.
You gotta send me some then, yo, and then we'll just do it that way.
I could, and then yeah, because it won't be high for 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, why don't we do that then? I'll do that.
Okay. Or just can you clear your schedule for next shit? If we're high for 10 hours, if we don't
want to do like an 18-hour fucking trip like show where we're just on live. Yeah. Wow, and like we're walking off the camera, not knowing the fuck's going on. Like, I don't know. I mean, it would be cool if like we could do a live while we're walking around in some part. Like if you ever come out to Spokane or I head out to fucking Seattle, you know, for Renton area where we just do a live thing where we're just being filmed, like that would be cool. And then we just try to do the show. Like,
well, you know what? Actually, that has merit, Joe. And you know what? I know you have relatives out in that area, Maple Valley.
Yeah.
And man, I have a setup now over there thanks to Stacy. I have a place that I can go. So basically, it would cost me very little to jump up there for like a few days. I could go up there for a few days for like.
If you give me enough heads up, I can try to plan something out. I'm supposed to go out for Thanksgiving in November, like pending that there isn't like mass city burning and rioting, you know, after the election.
Oh,
but,
right, yeah.
You know, but yeah, like I don't mind, man. Whatever you want to do, like, you know, I'm at your service, sir. I'm grateful that you allow me to come on your show and just talk to you. You know, have fun.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you being here, man. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a show because I would have given up a long time ago.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thanks, man, and thanks, guys, for tuning in. And we'll see you next Tuesday at 7.
See ya.
Later, guys.
Bye. See you later, Zach.
Later, man. Now I gotta remember how to turn this off.
It's all good.
Oh, watch this. I just gotta
hit me up like Sunday or Monday.
Yeah.
Topic. Okay.
Okay, I will.
I will. Peace.
So embarrassing. I can't.